I remember the first time I picked up a hammer and hit a piece of metal to shape it. I think I was instantly addicted. I was taking classes then in silversmithing and learning to raise and forge and chase. And it was this that ultimately compelled me to leave my career as a textile engineer and to pursue metalsmithing full time. I returned to graduate school to pursue a master's in metalsmithing, and for the first few years after school, I spent time perfecting my skills in forming and was making large vessels, sculptural vessels in copper and silver and even in steel. Today I feel I've miniaturized much of what I did in my vessel making days. Only now my hammers and tools are smaller and I work in gold and platinum. The design of this 18 karat gold necklace, for example, emerged while I was still forming vessels. The swirl motifs came directly from observing the movement of water. It's a motif that I used in the sculptural vessels that I had made earlier. Diamonds, I think, are loved by everybody. They are so brilliant and so desired, and yet for me, really very neutral. I use them to accentuate shapes and forms and lines, but sometimes in my work they act like a period at the end of a sentence, creating an end point in the piece. Sometimes I might even use them to pull energy and light to a particular place in the jewelry. When I design, I pay very close attention to line. I feel that if I could design something with just one single line in it, that I would have achieved a certain perfection. Because I feel that every line has a character to it and it communicates particular emotions. And I don't really feel that you have to be an artist to extract a meaning from a line. I think everybody has a very visceral response to it. But ultimately, the line is the artist's signature. So I try to integrate these lines in my jewelry with those that we might observe in the human body, so there is a synergy between the two. And I return to the use of the hammer as my primary tool to express this line in my work. So I forge gold and taper and shape it, relying mostly on the hammer and the stake. I was born in India and moved to the US at 15. So I spent most of my childhood in Calcutta, and I'm sure that it had a huge influence on me. And I can only say now that sometimes when people look at my work, they comment that there's a certain Indianness to it. But primarily now I feel that I draw my inspiration from things I see around me, particularly in nature. I love collecting bits of leaves and rocks and seeds and flowers and driftwood. And I also love spending time by the water and observing the handprint that water has left on our landscape as it passes over it. So you'll see a lot of layers in my work. Nearly every piece has multiple components that will rest on each other or relate to each other or fit into each other, or one might even say they almost talk to each other. In 2007, I decided to open a retail store and a gallery with an attached studio space in Englewood, New Jersey. So that's where I am now. It's where I meet with customers. It's where I work with my team. It's where I spend many hours at the jeweler's bench creating. It's where it all comes together. a place that holds my dreams, my aspirations, my imagination. And at the end of the day, it's a place I love coming back to.